There is no other supervillain quite like Doctor Doom. The very definition of what a supervillain is and should be. There may be many imitators, but there is only one true Doctor Doom. Today at CBR, we're diving into the history of comics' greatest supervillain of all time. The history of Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom made his first appearance in 1962's Fantastic Four #5 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Covered head to toe in gleaming metal with a hooded emerald cloak billowing out behind him, the very visage of Doctor Doom evokes that of the Grim Reaper, Death incarnate. Egotistical to a fault and looking up at no one, Doctor Doom always demanded total dominance. Asserting himself as the arch-nemesis of the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom began one of the longest and most colorful histories of any character within Marvel Comics. Doctor Doom's personal history is one of hardship and perseverance, but also of blinding ambition and jealousy. Born to a simple family people in the country of Latveria, Victor Von Doom was only a young boy when his mother was killed by the demon Mephisto. Victor's father was a healer and was ordered to heal a local leader's wife, but was unable to cure her of her cancer. His father fled the village late in the night knowing that he would be put to death. In his final acts, he gave Victor his clothes to keep him warm and died with him in his embrace. Victor would return to his people's camp and discover the truth about his mother's magical skills. Deciding to take up the magical arts as well, Victor then dedicated his entire existence to battling against the man known as the Baron, who had killed his father. Victor's actions eventually caught the attention of the Dean of Empire State University in New York City, so much so that Victor was brought to the United States where he was enrolled in the college. It was during his time at Empire State University that Victor would meet Reed Richards and Ben Grimm. Victor began to create a machine that would allow him to speak with the dead, but as Reed saw dangerous issues with the machine, he wanted Victor not to use it. He ignored Reed's warnings and activated the machine. It malfunctioned horribly and permanently damaged his face. Victor was expelled from Empire State University as a result of this accident, where he would find himself traveling the entire world. Pushed to his limits, Victor would pass out within a range of Tibetan mountains where a collective of monks rescued him. It was with these monks that Victor studied as much as he could in the mystic arts. Knowing that he was ready to revitalize himself with his newfound knowledge and power, Victor forged a suit of armor through both conventional and magical means. He donned the still searing metal onto his bare body, adhering it to his skin. Now clad in his iconic mask, Victor renamed himself Doctor Doom. His first order of business was to return to Latveria and lead a revolution against the powers that controlled the country. Victor was successful in his conquest and eventually installed himself as the ruler of the country. He renamed the capital city from Hasenstadt to Doomstadt and renamed its largest structure from Castle Sabbat to Castle Doom, thus cementing his position as supreme ruler of Latveria. As the ruler of Latveria, Doctor Doom began to focus all his efforts onto the destruction of the ones he blamed for his disfigurement and failure in contacting his mother's soul, the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four became the force that Doctor Doom would strike at with all his strength. Over and over again, Doctor Doom would attack the superhero team, but each time he would taste defeat at the hands of Marvel's first family. When the Fantastic Four learned of Doctor Doom's true name and history, they felt a deep sadness for the man. No matter how much they tried to explain to him that Reed was never at fault for the malfunction of Doom's machine, the tyrannical dictator would never listen to reason. A lifetime of pulling his way up from the bottom had hardened Doctor Doom's heart, making him impossible to reason with. Why Doctor Doom is so powerful. To understand why and how Doctor Doom is the most feared supervillain on the planet, it's necessary to examine his full range of powers. Doctor Doom is equaled only by Reed Richards in terms of brilliance and sheer genius. There is nothing that Doctor Doom cannot achieve when he sets his mind to it. A master at every possible field of study and on every subject on Earth, Doctor Doom is a polymath. Technology, science, medicine, art, history, magic. If it exists, Doom has mastered it. Doctor Doom's amazing intellect and genius aren't his only fantastic feats, but applying all his intelligence and focus to his combat capabilities, Doctor Doom is a walking army, an arsenal of world-breaking power. His armor is capable of withstanding blows from beings such as the Hulk. He is equipped with lasers, force fields, and rockets of every variety. His suit itself is equipped with extreme electric shock shielding and jetpacks. Through the augmentations of his armor, Doctor Doom is capable of performing feats of superhuman strength as well. And as if all these powers weren't enough, Doctor Doom's pursuits of the mystic arts have made him one of the most potent sorcerers in existence, second only to Doctor Strange. Doctor Doom is so gifted that he was acknowledged to be the runner-up as Earth's candidate for Sorcerer Supreme, a fact that immediately proves his might and mettle as a sorcerer. With the combined power of his technological arsenal and his magical skills, it's easy to understand why the world's mightiest heroes shiver when confronted by Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom's most important stories. Throughout his career as the ruler of Latveria, Doctor Doom has positioned himself as a living paradox. While he is feared the world over, he also maintains diplomatic immunity, a fact that has constantly alleviated him of answering to foreign law for the crimes he commits. But approaching him within his country of Latveria is considered an act of international aggression, a disturbing quandary that makes dealing with him extremely difficult and dangerous. Over the years, Doctor Doom has proven himself indisputably as the most ambitious and ruthless person to walk the Earth. In 1985's Secret Wars event, Doctor Doom took it upon himself to assert dominance over the ranks of the other supervillains, and even wage war against the omnipotence of the Beyonder himself. In 1987's Emperor Doom story, Doctor Doom performed the unthinkable. He subjugated the entire planet under his absolute control and became the ruler of Earth. In 1991's Infinity Gauntlet saga, Doctor Doom attacked Thanos in hopes of stealing the gauntlet for himself. In 2015's Secret Wars event, Doctor Doom leapt at the chance to gather the power of the Beyonders for himself, thus becoming transformed into God Emperor Doom. If ever there is a chance to obtain ultimate power, Doctor Doom will be there. Today, with Avengers Secret Wars due to completely overhaul the entire MCU from the ground up, it may finally be the time to see Doctor Doom receive his definitive cinematic incarnation. 2005's Fantastic Four was not a bad movie. In fact, it had several amazing cast picks, but it did not do Doctor Doom justice. The world's greatest supervillain was relegated to a one-note bad guy with a chip on his shoulder. An extremely truncated and altered origin story changed his character completely and left him as nothing more than just a quick KO for the Fantastic Four. And 2015's Fantastic Four movie, well, the less said the better. Secret Wars may finally be the time Doctor Doom fans have been waiting for their entire lives. With Robert Downey Jr. behind the iconic metal mask, there isn't a better actor worthy of taking on such an infamous role. What are your thoughts on Doctor Doom? Do you think he's gonna be Marvel Comics' ultimate supervillain? Leave a comment below, make sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching CBR.